Welcome back to Decyphered. In this video, we'll explore the October 2024 hack of Radiant Capital. In this incident, deception and sophisticated malware were used to steal an estimated $53 million from the protocol. Many DeFi hacks involving compromised private keys or mistakenly approved malicious transactions exploit weak security. However, this wasn't the case for Radiant Capital. The protocol implemented a multi-signature wallet requiring 3 signatures. Each of the 11 potential approvers used a hardware wallet and Gnosis safe wallet. The Radiant Capital hack used sophisticated malware installed on developers' computers. This was distributed via a social engineering attack where the developers were tricked into downloading and installing the malicious code on their own machines. One common tactic used by North Korea's Lazarus Group is fake job interviews. As part of an interview, developers do a skills test that involves downloading a malicious program or code repository. Running the code on their device installs malware that can steal private keys or take other malicious actions on the user's device. While the identity of the attacker and their techniques are unknown, this could have been one way in which the Radiant hack was done. Radiant Capital used Gnosis safe wallets. When approving transactions, they look at them in the front end and send an approval to their hardware wallet, which generates the signature. The attacker inserted themselves into this process, sending a malicious transaction to the hardware wallet for signature. This allowed them to collect valid signatures for their malicious transaction. Once the malicious transaction was signed, they threw an error, forcing the signers to try again. These errors are normal, and the second attempt sent the legitimate transaction for signature. This reduced the risk of detection since a legitimate transaction was eventually signed. With 3 legitimate signatures for their malicious transaction, the attacker was able to transfer ownership of Radiant's pool provider contract to an account they controlled. This allowed them to upgrade pool contracts to malicious versions, which enabled the attacker to drain funds from the pools and the wallets of users with existing approvals. Despite Radiant Capital's use of security best practices, such as multi-signature and hardware wallets, there was still a way to slip through the cracks. Sophisticated malware was used to create undetectable transactions that approvers signed. Best practices for protection include creating multi-layer defenses, incorporating social engineering training, anti-malware, and in-depth transaction approval processes for security. This is another example of the importance of a holistic security program, since even a protocol with robust technological defenses could be compromised via a combination of social engineering, subverted expectations, and misuse of legitimate processes. Thanks for joining us for this exploration of the Radiant Capital hack. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into major DeFi hacks. See you next time.